What is happening, everybody? So good to see all of you. Oh, we're back, folks. We are back, and the same as ever. Like, no bigger, no better, no worse. None of that shit. We're just here. But we have, as always, another fucking great show. And let's edit all of this right away so that our noob will be seen. It's public. All right, so if you guys are out there, like, share, comment. Let's get this going. For some reason today, when I went to show off the stream, it just like didn't show up on Facebook. Hey, Wendy, so good to see you, hon. How are you doing? We got a good show tonight. I got my boy Sean. We're gonna talk about Belial, but we're gonna talk about all sorts of stuff too. So feel free to hang out. So good to see you. If you have any questions for the dude, by all means, he's a great inker. He's a writer. He does all sorts of cool stuff. He's a marketer. Yay! Dude, we already have people come in. Okay, good, good. Let us know that you're here. Like, share, all that kind of stuff. Sarah, beautiful. Dude, I so miss not being able to see you in Chicago, but so glad you're here. Am I allowed to say that word? Good to see you, Kyron. Oh, dude, look at this. This is coming together very nicely, very quickly. I'm so excited to see all of you guys. As you all know, Belial is in full swing. We're almost a week in, and it's going well. We're over $3,000. In fact, I will look right now to see if it has changed. We are at $3,083, 112 backers. So we're going to keep pushing. Tonight's not as hard about the pushing, of course. We're going to talk about the book, and we'd love it if people checked it out and jumped on and everything. So if that is something you guys want to do, if you do want to check out the book, Link is my fave. Oh, I'm so glad Link is your fave. Thank you. Thank you. Have you checked out the new campaign yet, hon? It's looking good. We got lots of great stuff in there. John Westhoff, yeah, buddy. All right, damn, we got so many people. Look at all this love. All right, you know what? I think enough of me. Let's just move right on. If he's your favorite, you'll know it's Link. So, let's go and start this up because, dude, you guys seem primed and ready to go. I fucking love that.
Canadian bacon is actually really good, and it's nothing like normal bacon, and it's better than ham, which you guys seem to call Canadian bacon. I'm very good at writing. I write very well. Yeah, it's Shop Talk.
Do some of your audience members like the word fuck? Cool, then I'm going to keep saying fuck. Because I care.
What is up, Sean?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
Doing good, man. Well, it's been a rough day. My daughter got stung by a bee in the neck today while she was at school, so I came home early, so I'm well rested for you, buddy.
Oh, good for you. Well, I did not know that.
I use it as an excuse to get out of work early, but don't tell anybody.
How does one open a gate to hell asking for a friend? We can definitely discuss that. And actually, we could talk about the cathedral in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Because isn't that technically a gate?
Yeah. It was technically 2 gates.
That's right. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. But before we get on to that, before we answer your little question, Wendy says hi, by the way.
Hey.
And she's sorry about that.
It's good. She's doing good. She's playing the Switch in the back now.
Oh, yeah? She got in the neck?
In the neck, dude. On it, like right in the soft spot. She was actually giving somebody a hug. And so I guess when she went to crick her neck to give somebody a hug, it got pinched in there and it stung her.
I got it once right on the eye. Like on my eyelid.
Yeah. Nah, dude. Yeah, I took the day off. To be fair, I did actually take the day off, but I wanted to monitor it because it's her first bee sting. And I didn't want it to develop into a my girl situation.
Oh, wow. Too soon, man. Too soon. Macaulay Culkin, rest in peace.
I'm not even lying when I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so I put up the Neverending Story meme earlier today on Facebook, right? My follow-up was gonna be a My Girl meme, and I was working on it when I got the call that she got stung in the neck. So I felt bad.
No, you're like, I can't do it.
I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
oh no.
That's so hilarious. I can hear it in the background. I love that.
All right, guys.
No, go do your thing.
AJ, help her out, please.
Live
All
is
right,
so fun. No,
Tell you
don't.
what.
Never
Schmooze
apologize
for a
kids.
second. I'll mute it and I'll be sorry. Bad
No,
form.
go do your thing, man. Go do your thing. See, this is something that I actually appreciate. Is that, you know, like he's got a family and he's gonna go take care of it and do what he's got to do, and I think that's really special. I think we would all want to be able to do the same thing. So good. That
Very
was quick.
important life-threatening situation. She needed help on Lego villains.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, so did you know that today is a very special? Yeah, so you got to take care of the little one. Yeah, absolutely. Did you know that this is actually a very special day for you to celebrate?
No.
Today is International Bald is Beautiful Day.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not at all.
Oh,
I sent Eric a message and I was like, Wendy, do you have your phone? I want to know exactly what I sent to Eric. It was me. It was not nice.
Just screen share it and then just post it to Facebook. Just
trying to see what I said. Okay, cool. This is what I said exactly. I said, "Happy National Bald is Beautiful Day. People with hair don't have a day because no one ever went 3 years without a date because they had gorgeous, lustrous locks."
Right? We need self-esteem.
Right? He was like, to be fair, I've never been bald and single because I didn't shave my head until after I got a woman, and I was like, that was smart. That was very smart.
I didn't have a choice.
So we're here because first off, you've never been on the show.
It's true. It's true.
You've been on panels though, haven't you? Haven't I had you on for a panel?
No.
Really?
Yeah, no. This is the first one, buddy.
I'm shaved down there. Can I celebrate bald is beautiful? You celebrate however you want. I bet you your wife will celebrate. Okay, well then it's your first time. But what a perfect first time. We got Belial going on. We're celebrating over $3,000 funded in a week, 112 backers, and we're celebrating what will soon be us victorious.
Yeah, no, I'm actually really happy. Like I was saying last night, pepper in the eye. Yeah, that was not good. But yeah, no, we're sitting at, like I said, about half of what we had of our final number last campaign, but our average backers backing for more. So that is very exciting and much needed celebration for that so far. That's a good sign. Yeah.
Did you ever replace that gummy bear? Well, we have something worse. That's the toe of Satan.
The toe of Satan. So
mine is coming in, and basically when we fund, we'll be sucking on those ding dongs.
we'll have the fetish show.
Oh yeah. Oh shit! What am I doing here?
I don't know. What are you doing, Chuck?
I'm trying.
Podcasting dead air.
Dead air. Dead air sounds like a really good episode.
I mean, we have death in this episode, so you were just accentuating that, I guess.
That's true. At least it's not the camel toe of Satan. Actually, I'd probably eat the fuck out of that. I'll be honest.
Oh man.
Why not, right?
Lip smacking good.
So, usually when I start these episodes, I ask a question very often, and that question is twofold. What is your origin story as a fan of comics, and what is your origin story as a creator? of comics?
Okay. As a fan of comics, was because I actually enjoyed drawing and stuff as a kid, and it was my escape to a tumultuous childhood, and it was my way out. And I kind of got swept up in a lot of those things, and I found comic books that were identifiable to some extent with my life. So, as rough as it may sound, I identified early on with like Evil Ernie and stuff like that, rather than more of the Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk stuff. It was more of those darker things, so that's where that came from. And then, as a creator, it originated from making a promise to my grandmother that I would do something with my art before she passed, and it evolved into also wanting to have something, as I've never been a man of means, to leave behind for my kids. So it just made sense. It's something that I could make, that I could do, that represented a piece of me that I'd be able to carry on, and they could actually have something that would remind them of me down the road.
So you and I don't remember who came, and I honestly don't remember who came up with the idea. But you and I decided to honor two special dudes in the book this time, because of course, who passed away for you?
My grandfather, my grandpa Steve.
And he passed away.
At least in this issue.
Yeah, but he passed away while we were pushing Belial 2.
Correct.
Yeah, or just like right towards the end.
Yeah.
And then in the last year, just over a year ago, my stepdad Gord passed away. So we added them and brought them into the book, and I gotta say, it was kind of like it was easy writing for them, but it was also hard because like I'm writing for them the way I would write for any other character in Belial, and I'm like I kept having to be like, is it cool if your grandpa says this? Is it? And then I'd be like messaging my mom and be like, Gord said this in the book. She's like, I'm pretty sure he said that in real life. I'm like, great, okay, cool. Like, and I know I obviously don't know Steve, but I know knew Gord very well, and he had quite the lip on him. So I just had to make sure that his family was cool with it.
Yeah, no, everything has been pretty straightforward. My grandpa was a huge joker, and so anything that we would have done, he would have been happy. And he's one of the biggest supporters that I've had the entire way. And I am honored to say that even my younger brother has actually carried on with that support for what I do as well. So that's pretty awesome.
Oh, good. So your grandpa, would you say that you got some of your sense of humor from him?
I think, yeah. I would say yeah, because early on, a lot of the things that he was a representative of the male figure in my life. And so as much as it turned out to be a coping mechanism, the flavor of the humor definitely took a spin from his influence.
Yeah. That makes sense. It's funny because Gord had no effect on my sense of humor. Like, he didn't come around until I was well into my 20s, so my sense of humor was already well developed. But we had enough of a connection through humor that it made sense, and it was nice to be able to bring him in. Eric says, "Love you guys. Can't wait for more Belial." Eric actually got to read number 3, so that's fucking cool. Yeah, dude. I mean, so comics have been, and let's be a little real here. Comics has not been an easy journey for either of us.
No.
But one thing, and I don't know if you remember hearing this when you first got started, but I was told early on, good luck making it to 5 years. Like, most people knock off at 5 years. You and I are both at and or just over, right around 5 years.
Yeah.
So, and we've both been through some shit. So he asked, like literally, he asked. And where do you fall on the totem pole? You're right there on the bottom. And so everybody kind of like, you know, centipedes on you. But you're both millionaires. Well, thank you. Eh,
Right.
if only.
In our hearts. In our
Oh,
hearts.
see, yeah. See, Braden was like, I knocked off at 5 years, but he came back, and that was a big deal. So 5 years hit you hard, but you're still going on. Here's the question: after every hit you've taken, after every bad review, shitty thing that someone said, um, tough time with a friend and fellow coworker, every time Chuck has been a frustration to you, all that kind of shit. Why the fuck are you still doing this?
Because I do my best work when I'm backed into a corner. I mean, and as a born survivalist, I feel like I thrive in opposition. I mean, that's just the raw honest truth. In fact, in the downtime between making Belial 2 and Belial 3, it even drove me to, instead of give up, it was to double down and really kind of dig in. And even though socially or whatever, I probably disappeared pretty well, a lot of that I feel like will have its payoff. So the investment was there on a different side of the coin. But just digging in, just because, like I said, it's a survival nature, and stress. I thrive on stress. Unfortunately, that's my comfort zone.
Yeah. For those of you guys who are out there, like I said, we are talking about Belial 3. If you haven't checked it out, we'd love it if you did. I would love to give Sean a little gift in the fact that we're at 3083 right now. I would love to see this go above 3100, and we're at 112 backers. If we could break 115 while we're through this broadcast. So if there's any of you guys who haven't been here, go check out some of the stuff, see what's going on, and if there's something that interests you and excites you, we'd love for you to check it out and enjoy it. We're not going to be pushing the Kickstarter too hard, but we would love that. Thank you, Bruno. We really appreciate that, buddy. We really do so much. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's been tough, but you're still moving forward. Um, I've noticed I've noticed that when we're talking about a Shaun Barbour project, it tends to be more horror oriented.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about horror that gets your blood pumping?
Something to do. I feel like it would go one of two ways, but I would like to say that it's probably because I felt a majority of my life feeling uncomfortable, that I feel my comfortable spot is knowing what made me uncomfortable and then using that knowledge on paper to kind of help translate some of that over. So
Horror is the best. Okay.
There's something about it. I wasn't allowed to watch it really when I was a kid, and I remember like sneaking around the corner and like watching Tales from the Crypt while I was laying on the ground, and there was something that felt forbidden, something about that, and so I've always just been extra intrigued because it was it was what I wasn't allowed to have as a kid.
Okay.
That and Snickers. I've had both now.
Oh, good. I was really worried that you hadn't had Snickers yet.
I didn't have my first one till I was like 12.
Okay, that's not huge, but that's kind of cool. Like, no, if you've been like 23 and you're like, dude, I just had my first Snickers. I remember we had this bar. I've never seen the chocolate bar down here. We had a bar called the S'mores Bar. It's a s'mores chocolate bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a buddy who smoked up for the first time, and he was like, he's like, man, we were going to, and he's like, so I've heard that things taste a lot better when you've smoked. And I was like, yeah, buddy, they have. And he's like, what do you think I should have? I was like, what's your favorite chocolate bar? And he's like, I love that s'mores bar. I was like, go grab one. Grab a couple things because they'll never taste the same. And he's like, oh, okay. And he comes to me later on that night and he's just like, s'mores bar is the greatest thing ever. I was like, yeah, buddy. I'm glad you feel that way.
You just never enjoy it as much stone cold sober anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna tell him that though because it was hilarious to me. Bruno says, for me, life is horrifying. Bills, family, stress. So as entertainment, it helps with everything. I agree with Sean on that connection that way. Yeah, I get that. Is there a genre that scares the fuck out of you? Like the idea of having to write in it, even draw in it, that where you're just like
life, like romancy type stuff.
Yeah.
Not a good thing for me, I think.
Right.
Yeah, I could do cartoons, I could do funny, I could do action, I could do horror, I could do maybe like thriller, but anything that would be more, I think, more realistic, that calls for me to draw on like the rawest of things that kind of exist inside would be really difficult for me.
It's funny. There's a lyric by a band that I really love. I love Harvey Danger, and they have a lyric that I think would be very interesting to you. He's writing a love song, and most of his songs are very morose and sad, and about childhood trauma and how hard life is and all this kind of stuff. Obviously shit that we've been through and stuff. And so he's writing this love song, and it's basically his first love song. And one of the lyrics is, I'm so in love. How do you write about that? And I was like, dude, that's like the realest fucking thing anyone's ever said. Like, you hear like Backstreet Boys songs and all this kind of shit, and you're just like, it's bullshit. Whatever you're saying is bullshit. You are candy coating the fuck out of this. And when this guy is like, I have no fucking idea how to talk about love. I just know that I feel it. And you're just like, yeah, buddy, that shit's real. Like, I love that.
It might have something to do with the age that I am now too, though. I think when you're young and it's like, it's that new and totally encompassing feeling. Like, I remember writing a lot of poetry and stuff when I was a teenager and whatever, and people seem to dig that and stuff. But I think over relationships going sour and things just hitting, on the flip side, I think I've become more the stuff that's closest to the surface and lasts are, unfortunately for me, like the scars that are left behind. And so I think it would be hard to push the sugar-coated stuff out there, knowing that this other stuff kind of exists. And some people just don't catch a break until they're later in life. You know what I mean? And how do you tell people it's going to take, 7, 8 relationships or whatever it takes somebody to really find out who you are, so you can actually find out what love actually is.
Yeah. Well, so I think it's a fair statement to say that you're fairly honest about your trauma. It doesn't mean that you're out there saying, this happened to me, that happened to me, but you're like, man, it has not been easy. And you've never really seemed to hide that.
Yeah.
However, I don't feel like you've necessarily directly written about it. Is that something that you're interested in? Or do you more like the idea of being able to, like with Belial, kind of write around it?
The creative detour, I think, that allows people to make their own assumptions, writing just enough that if somebody wants to see that, I think is kind of fun for me, to be like, who's willing to invest the attention or invest in their own knowledge base so they can draw whatever conclusion that they have. So like Belial and stuff, I used as a kind of like my own therapy, and through going through this is about reclaiming Belial's throne and Belial's power, what was rightfully his and what he gave up, basically, not necessarily reluctantly. He gave up reluctantly. And so the base story of the Belial side of things is that he's fighting to reclaim his sense of self. And each issue of Belial, he gets to take back a piece of him. So in a way, for me, it's kind of working through all the stuff that even I felt that I left behind of myself in my life and being able to claim some of that stuff. And again, in these later issues, we're tackling more real, emotions versus what happened early on. You kind of start out acknowledging it's there, but pushing it off. And eventually you have to face all that. And I think that kind of has come through even subconsciously in the writing and making, Belial, amongst other things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I feel you. So, I mean, Belial, you're on issue 3.
Mhm.
We're working on issue 4. When it's done, what is your, I mean, because isn't I Drive for Cerber like what? 2 issues, 1 issue?
I right at this point, it's set for 2 issues, but that's because I wanted to kind of dip my toes in it. I felt it was a good way to round off this first 10 sections of this story that exists. But it has the potential to go further if it becomes something more popular than what is already there. If people like it in the comic format, because it already exists on Reddit and it exists on YouTube as an audio story that's been told. This is just my take on it through the comic book form with Kyron. And if people latch onto that, I'll give them more of that. But I like the story so much, I thought it would be fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have other projects or other ideas that you're thinking about bringing to the forefront when, Belial is gone?
There's one that's kind of more of like a teen all ages type of book that is actually almost completely done. That was done with Martha Schwartz, and she's doing the colors on that. There's no rush on that one. It kind of is going to happen when it happens. But that one I did directly for my kids. And then I've got it's probably going to be like another 4-part comic story that's more of a what would you call that, a psycho supernatural horror type book.
Okay.
So yeah, but I feel like having that finite point where I can draw a line and say, okay, this is what I'm setting out to do, versus saying I'm going to have 100 issues. But that's just, it's easier for me to process because my life has been tumultuous, to break it down into chunks and to focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah. Karen says he's ready for issue 10.
He did such a great job.
Yeah. And Braden says, what are your favorite indie horror titles that you've read recently?
I know I said it before. As far as indie horror goes, Crossed is a really, really good story. And there was also Nailbiter if you're into serial killer type books. So those for me were a lot of fun. But I went on a big dive trying to find out and research. So I got a bunch of books and was like, okay, what are the top, 20, comic books? And then if I liked one, I dove into that one a little bit more. So, yeah.
I mean, I haven't read a lot lately, especially with, just work and everything. But if I go back and I look at some of my favorite horror comics, I would say Judas Breed, Sink. I mean, those are both 2 really fucked up horror books. Have you read Sink?
I have not read Sink. By the time I think I found out about it, I think they had produced enough that I was like, I'd want to read it all, and I don't have those financials.
It's delightfully fucked up. I think you would totally dig it because it's like it's both a crime book and a horror book. And so I think it would very much dig into your sentimentalities and into the kind of stuff that you like. So yeah, it's pretty fucked up. If you get the chance, definitely like even just pick up some digitals or something. But yeah, it's really good, man.
Okay.
Actually, I think I still have it, so I might be able to send you the at least the first couple issues.
Okay. I'll definitely check it out. I know it's super popular, so they're doing stuff right. So
Oh.
yeah, there's no reason
Yeah,
why.
no, it's really fucking good from Comics Tribe. Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah. So, what else you got going on, man? I mean, yeah, actually, you know what we've been talking about writing mostly, but what about inking? Like, how did you get specifically into inking of all things?
Okay, so that goes back to Into the Darkness, which was the first comic book that I was kind of involved with that my buddy and I was working on. His name is Mark Zuptich, and that existed way back in high school. And I, over the years, was so invested in the story and kind of helping develop that whenever he would show me pencils, I would basically ink these pieces, but I would use my mouse to do it. And I guess it kind of showed that I was willing to put in effort, because if you've done anything, any type of trying to draw with a mouse, it's time, consuming for sure. And then once I was brought on to do, I started doing it by hand, and I was like, okay, this can get expensive. So the next thing was, okay, so in the long term, what is a good thing to invest in? So I got one of the drawing tablets without the screens on it and learned how to do that. And then eventually I was able to invest in getting an actual like Huion drawing tablet that I use now. But it was more or less my love for another story, and I love working with people. I loved the difference in art. I love the difference in stuff like that. And I felt it was easier to kind of pick up and be able to hang with some of the big boys than some of the actual like penciling and stuff like that, which I was a little bit less familiar as far as being able to move forward with sequentials and stuff, because that's a whole different beast entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Do you have any inkers that you look up to?
As far as inkers specifically, no, but basically an all-in-one is Dan Schaefer. He does he does this book here. It's one of my favorite. It's called Dog Witch. And it's a lot of fun. And
can we see some of those inks?
What's that?
Can we see some of those inks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
So she actually is more like a gothy character, but she handles like sex magic and stuff like that. So
oh wow.
But it's fun. It's not distasteful. It deals a lot with the psychological aspect of things, because she's basically falling apart kind of herself, and it's chaotic and it's beautiful.
Well, you had me at sex magic.
Yeah. So I mean, that's Dog Witch. And
that's
Dan
cool.
Schaefer, he actually does a lot of stuff that is more psychological. He's done quite a few. In fact, he actually has a movie that came out from one of his comic books called The Scribbler, which is
cool.
Actually really fun too. So
Sarah says, I have an issue of Dog Witch.
Which issue? Because that omnibus is dope.
Papa Guasa says, I'm enjoying the discussion from Ghana.
Welcome, dude.
She got it from a 50-cent long box.
It's worth it.
Wait, are you saying you paid 50 cents for a long box, or you got a single issue for 50 cents from a long box?
She's all digging through. This looks neat. Yeah.
I would pay 50 cents for this long box.
Yeah.
You know, There's this fucking TikTok where this guy walks around and he's like, I have a mystery box. Do you want it for $1? And everyone's like, no, 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 no. And then he opens it up and there's something awesome in it. But I'm like, guys, why are you not just like, it's $1? How fucking important to you is $1? Like,
Yeah.
if some random dude was like, it's shit, I'd be like, you won, so what? And then I'd throw it out.
There was a guy at a thrift shop here in town, and he was like, he was shutting down his thrift shop, and he was like, okay, so I heard you like comic books. I'm like, yeah. He's all, how about you give me like $15 and I'll give you all the comics that I have. And I thought it was just going to be a couple comic books. And he ended up, big dude, carrying this huge box, just chock full of comic books, and everything from like golden age comic books to some of the stuff that was newer. And that was kind of an interesting and fun thing for me to do and go through. They were dusty.
Wow.
And there wasn't very many, protectors, but I get my comic books more or less to read them. I've read every comic that I've got. So
yeah.
And I encourage my kids to too.
Mystery boxes do well at conventions. That's true. I've thrown some Welcome to the Voids and Belial's into some mystery boxes actually.
Nice.
Yeah. Just because I was like, it would be cool to find out, they ended up in some weird places. Like, there was someone on Belial who posted and said, I read a friend's issue 1, and now I want to get the rest. And I was like, first off, you've got an awesome friend, but like,
yeah,
the idea that happened is so fucking cool,
It's been kind of interesting because I did have somebody too, even back on Belial too. He didn't even know, like, I made the book, and it came up genuinely just in a conversation. He was like a friend of mine's fiance, and so it just came up, and he's like, "Wait a second, you do that? This is you?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And he was just awestruck because he heard about it from somebody on the East Coast, and he thought it was an East Coast indie book. So it actually went its way back and genuinely got back to me, and I thought that was kind of awesome.
Wouldn't that be fucking funny if that was like someone that I had sold it to or whatever? So like,
yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's fucking funny. That's so cool, dude. Oh, what a neat idea. That's so fun. And yeah, you think about the places your books have been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've had books. I mean, you've done what, 1 or 2 conventions?
Yeah, I've done a couple. Yeah,
but your book has been coast to coast. Your book has been sold in Florida, in Chicago, in Seattle, all over Texas, all over California, like all over the fucking place. And then you can start talking about things like, the places you've sent it. My favorite is
Malta.
Yeah,
Malta. I looked at the population of Malta. The whole country is like 500 people.
500,000.
I don't know about that.
Oh, really? You said the whole country is 500 people?
Whole
Malta?
country, yeah.
Now I gotta look it up, dude.
I'm doing that right now.
Because I thought it was 500,000.
Oh, you're right. 525,000.
Yeah. But still, dude, like, that's a fucking tiny-ass country.
The size of it, yeah, on the map.
I live between 2 cities that both have more people in those cities than that fucking country.
Yeah. That was fun. We found that out during that was in the first book, wasn't it?
And they came back for the second one.
Yeah. And that's pretty neat. That to me that was a moment. And I know that everybody's like, yeah, that'll happen. I've had some people be like, okay, cool. I'm like, no. For somebody who has never been outside of, the landmass that is United States.
Yeah.
That's kind of big for me.
It's huge. It's huge. No, absolutely. Issue 1 is the one she got for 50 cents.
Oh, dude, you need to. I hope that's protected.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I had all the singles still. I lost them in a relationship. But
do you have any, speaking of like issue 1 of Dog Witch and stuff like, do you have any comics for yourself that are like, ones that you have to keep protected, ones that you're super happy with and stuff?
Bro, yeah. And I feel like you baited me with this question because
I'm a masturbator, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
Oh shit! Oh, I do.
Yes,
Oh, that's
you
right.
do.
I
It's
forgot
on my
about that.
shelf. It's right here. It's the only comic that I have
Oh,
that
that's
is
funny.
in the Protector, and you're the one that gave that to
I
me.
forgot about that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
I don't, because I see it every day, Chuck. I see
I don't.
it.
Oh yeah, she said it's totally bagged and boarded. That's so cool. Wendy said the country that caught me off guard on my campaign was Moldova. Yeah, like see, that's huge. What the fuck are you doing sending a book to Moldova? That's so neat. Yeah, I forgot about that. I won that in a poker tournament, and I was like, I could have resold it and made some good money, but
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, man? I know somebody who would appreciate it more than anyone who could possibly buy it, and so I sent it to you instead.
You were posting about it. You were like, "Oh, I won this," and I was like, "This son of a bitch." I was like, "I'd have killed for that book," and you're like, "Oh, really? Okay." And then little did I know, later, months down the road, you were like, "Hey, by the way, you have a package coming." And you sent it to me with the sticky notes for Belial too.
That's funny.
So yeah.
That's so fucking funny. Oh jeez. My kid just came in and flopped on my bed like a weirdo. Um, yeah, she did say that that's totally bagged and boarded. Good call. I can send it to you if you PM me your address since you lost the single issues in a bad situation.
That's as soon as I get off of here. For sure.
So you heard it here, folks. Once he gets off, he's gonna get in touch with Sarah. All my single comics are bagged and boarded once I get home and start reading them. That makes sense.
People are taking care of us all over the place.
Right?
Yeah.
Swag. It's all about the swag.
Don't swag me. Don't
You've
swag me.
You've officially been swagged. So yeah, as we've said before, Belial is going on. If you haven't hopped on, check it out. I mean, honestly, so far the reviews have been really good. People are saying really good stuff about it. Is there I mean, not getting too much into spoiler territory, is there any stuff in this issue or coming up that you're especially excited about?
Actually, and this is for Belial being the base of my heart in the book. My favorite part has got to be the stuff right in the middle that has to do with Link. That gave me belly laughs. Yeah.
Oh, with Link?
Yeah, with Link. I think it's safe to say the stuff that leads up to the Dirt Burris.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that was a genuine moment because find out for yourselves.
Yeah, go check it out, people. Come on. My kid's trying to talk. What's up? Oh, yes. Me too. I love you, kid. Excuse me. No, that's so cool, man. Yeah. And is there anything that going ahead, like, okay, is there a teaser or something that you can say about this issue that you think would really hook someone who maybe hasn't even read one of the comics before? Is there something that you think would excite them?
Okay, somebody that hasn't read any of the books. I don't. It's hard to pick out, and I have to say that it's hard to pick out because of the way things are going on. Because there's multiple things going on at the same time. I mean, honestly, I have to agree with the fact that it has a very animated presentation. So even for me, when I'm pitching it to people, I tell people it's the Hellboy meets Mr. Pickles.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I can't pick one thing. That's really hard for me. And I haven't really thought about it. I never even thought of what's the one thing, because we spend so much time pitching the entirety of the story.
Yeah.
That I haven't been able to just pitch. And I haven't never thought about pitching just the one issue to somebody.
Okay. Do you have a particular, I mean, really, if you look at this, there's kind of a video game aspect to it. We have boss fights. We've got war, we've got pestilence, we've got famine, we've got death, and then the big boy is going to be Lucifer. And I think it's safe to say that Lucifer is going to be the biggest fight. But was there one fight or one destruction of a horseman that you particularly enjoyed above the others?
For me, I want to say I actually really enjoyed the famine, the defeat of famine. And there's a personal part to that, and the fact that I was saying, like the Into the Darkness, the character that was there was a character that existed since my teens, and to be able to actually dive in and add more of a dimension, and then to be able to say that this new character had a big part in thwarting, this old school ideal. Sorry, my daughter apparently is a former smoker.
That's okay. Yeah, you just tell her, hey, kiddo, try to drop down to half a pack a day, okay?
That's right.
Lighten up.
No, but no, I really enjoyed the stuff with Famine just because he was a little bit more withdrawn. He was the quieter of people.
Yeah.
War was self what do you call it? Boastful.
Self-aggrandizing, really, pompous.
Grandiose. And so the way that he was done in was a direct opposition of his base, display of characteristics. And then we had the over-the-top, just gluttonous, still pestilence that was just about everything just disgusting. And the way that he went out was fun. And I think the famine defeat felt more like a fight, than all of them up to that point.
Yeah, I would say though that so far, obviously, I believe that 4. It's not even written yet, but 4 will have the greatest fight.
Oh, 4 is going to be something entirely not different, but it's going to bring yet another dimension. I feel like to the story. And
I think different though too is fair. Like it's not gonna be 1v1 shit,
No, but the book has evolved. I mean, just as we've evolved, our skill bases have evolved, the stories evolved, the arts evolved, and to say that yes, I don't think it's going to be something different as much as it is going to be the realization of the evolution of Belial.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I would say so far, the best fight is actually in 3.
Yeah, that the main fight in 3, the one that is showcased in the main event, is hard hitting.
Oh shit!
For
look at this.
many reasons.
Brian says hi, and he wasn't aware. Of course, dude. It's Tuesday at 9. It's always the same thing, homie. How you doing, buddy? If you have any questions for my boy Sean, he's only here for like another 10 minutes. So, if you want to be here longer, dude, you can always be here longer. But I know you have family stuff.
We're okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm open to any questions. Nothing's off the table so far.
Yeah, so far. She says, this is what I have. It will take you right to it, and I'll make sure it's not going to get damaged. It will be bagged and boarded besides other protective measures to get to you in a very good condition, found in great condition. Aw. Nice. I got no notifications. Yeah, Facebook was a bit of a dick about this episode for some reason.
I even shared it on my Facebook, so I don't know why people ain't getting it.
It didn't even show up on mine. On my wall. It didn't show up on my wall until we actually went live.
I was going to say, okay.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I never get notified when Chucko's life. It's funny, Wendy. Whenever you do anything, I get notified because I set you as a best friend. So everything you do
Oh,
happens instantly.
oh.
So apparently, you're my best friend, but I'm not yours. Wow.
Only until yesterday.
Wow.
Once yesterday was over, you guys were back to.
Right? Hey, Chad, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, dude.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, nice to see you, man. We're talking about our book, Belial 3, which is out on Kickstarter right now, everybody. And we're talking to a hell of an anchor here. And so, yeah, if you guys have any questions, we're gonna hopefully go a little long and talk more with him. She's in trouble. I can't get her in trouble.
And I will say, as a teaser for number 4, I know that what we have planned that starts in issue 3 is going to be a big thing. That is probably going to be one of my favorite moments. I'll have to tell you after we're done.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, because I
Yeah,
have no fucking clue.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be like everything else that you just mentioned in passing, and I'm like, oh, remember when we were doing this? And you're like, oh yeah, I did that. And then there's a revision somewhere, and
Right?
no, it was in there the whole time. I was messing with you,
Dude, so good to see you. I got to hang out with this motherfucker at in Seattle. Great dude. Lot of fun. Great supporter of indies.
right on.
Speaking of, Belial's live right now, homie. He actually came by and he bought all the covers and everything. He was amazing.
Holy
Such
cow.
a good dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to a. It's called the Sinister Halloween Con next month. So I'm thinking that's going to be fun.
Yeah, of course it is. About to leave for work in about 15 minutes anyway. But Sean, on a scale of 1 to 33.7 plus, how much am I going to get suplexed with gloriousness after reading Belial 3?
1 being okay and 37.7. Was that what the number was?
33.7.
33.7. I don't know why that number, but
That's
I'm going to.
very. Yeah.
Okay, so if issue 1 is your 1, then we are bringing it to the 40 mark with this issue. So we're going to recalibrate what you expect from Belial. If even out of 100, your only stopping point is 33.7, we'll at least bring you to a 40.
Yeah. Roger, the link is right below us right now. You can see it down there. If anybody wants to put the link up for anyone in the chat. Pardon? Oh, Wendy just did. Why am I not seeing it? Oh, there it is. Yep, the link's in the chat if you guys want to check it out. Thank you, baby. You're the best. Now we're friends again. Ed McMinn's here. Hi, in the mood for a chat. Good, man. Come chat with us.
I'm saying if even I know that we're not like super pushing the book, but if anybody even just I know that I've posted a billion posts for this campaign.
Yeah.
Just fresh set of eyes are gonna be helpful, because if we've expended our sets of eyes that exist on our 2 walls, just sharing to another wall would be dope.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know what I was gonna say. Probably because of drugs. But yeah, Ed McMinn says, so this is the co-offender? Absolutely, this is the co-offender.
Yeah.
Sent you the pic of what you're getting in the mail. Holy shit, Sarah, you're a keeper.
Yeah.
BRB off to Kickstarter. Roger, we fucking love you, buddy. He's a keeper.
That's red.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, so excited to have this one out of us. So excited to be moving on to the next one. And this one, what's been different about this one is we're done this one. We have kickstarted the other ones a little earlier to help us pay for stuff, like being able to pay the artists and all that kind of stuff. So this time, we actually got to finish it first. How does it feel to have the book done and to know that we're going to be able to get it off pretty quickly afterwards?
I feel like it's a sign of just how far we've been able to come in with getting this stuff done. I mean, with having to rely solely on people, even up front, to even finish the book, to now individually we've each put out of our pocket even to get this book done. And we've essentially now, because of comics and other things in our lives, finally getting to a nice point, I think, have been able to invest in ourselves. And that is a big moment of realization for me, that we've gotten to the point where we're like, okay, now I believe in myself enough to take a chance on myself.
Yeah.
So I know that during the first campaign, you had to tie me down because I was so nervous about every stinking thing.
Oh yeah.
And I think this time around, even though we've only just surpassed 50%, I feel way more confident this time around. Even with having the higher goal and everything else than what we have previously set, knowing that we've been able to achieve that goal, and we're not asking for any more than what it took to make, but being able to put ourselves forward and do things that we weren't able to do when we started this whole gig is a big deal.
Yeah. Love seeing that. Get it, Sean, from Joseph Dewis. And I think that's kind of funny, him yelling, get it, and then saying,
Yeah.
Seeing Muhammad Ali there. Like, we do have some other comments, but real quick, Brian Manel, because he's leaving, he said, we'll need to watch the replay, but is inking on Belial different from inking for I Drive for Cerber, or did someone else do that instead?
No, I did ink both, and I'll tell you, every inking job for me feels different, even with Belial. Different tools, different skills that I learn along the way, different artists. That's all part of things that I actually enjoy, and being a part of other people's work. So, but yeah, very different workflow for both, very different feel for both. So the approach is definitely different. So even if you go with the stuff that I did for like Mississippi Zombie, it had a lot more to do with textures and let me see. It was just like, it's a different, looks like it's more hand ink than anything, even though this was digitally done too. Everything feels different. Because even, let me see, we were in the second one as well. And so this one you can tell too, there's a lot more, scrubbiness. There's different approaches to each one, but there's little pieces of each project that I like to bring on to the next thing. So I'm really hoping some Next Caliber stuff, and I hope everybody can see that, because my job as an inker is not to make each piece my own, but to accentuate what the artists are trying to do with themselves and leave a piece of me behind, rather than putting me on the page. I'm helping to make what else is already there better, and hopefully somebody can see, if they've seen a couple of things that I've done, the big differences in those things.
Yeah. Man, every time I leave a piece of me behind, then I end up having to raise a kid. So I'm not.
Hey, some people have been able to see, and it got me to be able to do the cover of that Good Boy for Source Point. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's fun stuff. That to me is a big deal.
Huge. Yeah, absolutely it is. I've been listening, so I'm hip to the book better than the written. Nice. When is Sinister Creature Con again?
That is coming up in October. I want to say that. Oh goodness, I see the posts everywhere.
Indeed, it is a different kind of.
I am trying to figure this part out. Hold on. October 22nd at the Scottish Rites Convention Center in Sacramento. So if you're close and you go, you'll be able to see me there. And maybe even Kyron.
Well, Kyron's in Sacramento. Like, you guys gotta see each other.
I know. I'm trying to talk him into it because it's been a couple years since I've seen the dude.
Come on, Kyron. What a bitch move to not go show up and say hi.
The writer for the story that's on Reddit for I Drive for Cerber just moved to Sacramento as well, and they're going to be there.
So Mofucius is going to be there as well?
Yeah, Mofucius going to be there too.
Oh, yeah, you gotta, the three of you have to be there together.
I want a picture. That way we can get it up.
Yeah.
Because fingers crossed, that book is going to be, hopefully, depending on how well we do with Belial, my goal is to have that up in October as well. So maybe it'll be running when I'm at that convention.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
That's really badass. Dude, because I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten together with people and then forgotten to get pictures.
I know. I'm horrible at it. I'm gonna have to be like, oh hi, let's take a picture first, and then hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
Because I'm bad at it.
Are there any? And please don't mention me. But is there anyone else? Like, do you have any of your indie comic creator friends and whatnot who you just so excited that they're on that bucket list to meet?
I mean, honestly, there's been so many people, even with heading up any of the super active people from Indie Comic Conspiracy. Those people have been so enriching to myself as well as other people. So, I mean, honestly, they're all on my benchmark. If I get to a point where I can do an actual valid circuit of conventions, I will be making a hit list of other creators to be able to
Yeah, that's
meet.
what we all want to hear, is the hit list. What did he say? I think I still have a picture of when I met you, Sean. I don't think I ever saw that picture, so you should put that up sometime.
Here's a funny thing. I remember meeting Kyron before he remembers meeting me, because I met him when he had a table and I had stopped and talked to him that he doesn't remember, but I recognized once we got reintroduced to each other later on.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Shaun Barbour knocking out the competition one convention at a time.
Isn't that how we rise in this game?
By beating each other?
Yeah. Just taking hit pieces out on everybody.
Yeah, it's true. Sean beats off all the guys.
One at a time.
One at a time. Yeah.
One at a time.
Yeah. No two fisting, just one fist at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, you need the other hand to control things.
Today, Junior. Where was this?
I believe. Let's see. The first one that I went to was. Where was that one? I want to say it was a Reading Convention Center. Not Reading Convention Center, but at like the where the Red Lion Hotel was in Reading. I think it was a Reading thing. Yeah.
How is the heat and the electricity there now? Has it gotten any better?
There's an hour tomorrow that it's off, but today was only 95. So compared to last week's 116 at this time, I'm super beyond. I'm not dying on the screen here this time.
Good.
Yeah, big deal.
Yeah.
So
all right.
I'm gonna save all those pennies for Belial, man.
I feel you.
AJ. No.
Do you have? I mean, we're starting to wind down. I know you got the kids to take care of and whatnot. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we ended up heading out?
I got nothing specific unless somebody had a good question they want to just come out of the woodwork for, or anything.
Does anyone have one last question? I guess that's a no. No, I'm just kidding. Won't even wait a second.
Hey, if
Sean
we get everybody's questions and everything, then
yeah,
I'm golden.
I think so.
Yeah.
Sean beat me down once. It was an exhausting experience.
That was a hug. It's not my fault.
You know who gave me probably one of the I haven't told her this, but it's probably one of the best and for a second most awkward hugs ever? December Lace.
Really?
When she saw me at C2E2, she wrapped her arms around me and hugged, and of course I hugged right back. And you do the mental, anytime you hug a hot chick, it's like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then you start to let go, right?
Thank God for the belly, man.
You're right, but it was 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, let go, and she still fucking hung on for dear life. And I was like,
air, just
right? And she's just, dude, she's right in there, like still holding. I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, okay, I'll go back in. And now I'm like, I'm hugging, but I'm trying not to like
you're like,
hold her so that when she's ready to let go, and I'm like, I don't know. This went beyond all the Mississippis I imagined, so I don't know when this is gonna end. And I would say honestly, it went a solid like probably 8 or 9. I was just like, and there you go.
oh,
Never let
man.
go. First rookie mistake. I believe a former president felt the same way, and no one seems to like him for it. So I did let go. Actually, several of our former presidents. So yeah, but yeah, it was just yeah, it was an amazing hug, and then of course it was also for that second like awkward like, am I supposed to let go? What do I do? All right, cool, I'm back in. Yeah,
COVID really messed up any of my aspirations for conventions. I was at a point right before COVID hit that I had invested in the display, the table runner, all of the stuff to actually, and I was on the fence trying to find out whether or not I wanted to get one of those big stand-up banners to invest for that. And
they're like $100. They're actually not that expensive.
well, $100 is $100 when you're
I
a single
know.
dad with multiple kids, and California's living wage is like $22. But if you have 2 kids, the living wage goes up to $42 an hour.
That's
So they say
ridiculous.
to have a living wage in California, you need to have a $150,000 job. And I don't.
No.
So it was up in the air. So, and I'll tell you, I live in a 1.5 bedroom space. My kids have the rooms, the 1.5 rooms. I sleep on a futon in the living room. That's just how you make things work when you make things work.
Yeah. You gotta gather those kids and go to a better state.
Oh, they'll know. I mean, I just hope that they'll do better than me, and then they'll know that the sacrifice is there. And they may not know
Yeah.
it now. They may take advantage of it now, but there will be a day.
Yeah. I just got a picture of Sarah hugging. I can't see who it is, but her hugging somebody else at a convention. That's great. All right, cool. Well, I mean, guys, thank you so much, all of you, for coming out. Sadly, of course, our guest has a family and he has stuff he's got to do. Do you have anything that you want to say before we end up heading out, bud?
Just that I hope anybody that sees any of the posts that we put up there, please, like it at least, or if you comment, and then go ahead and like your own comment on there, because I have found out like the algorithms are engagement. Even if you like your own comment, it all acts as engagement, and that's our best way around the algorithms, and it helps us get out there a little bit more. So any engagement from any of the Belial posts that you see out there, those are going to be so helpful. Yes, the dollars help, but that signal boost that we get from engagement, is awesome. And I'll make sure that if I see any of them, I will try to make the comments and likes and everything else as well.
Nice. Brian says, looking forward to your works, guys. Thank you for the stream as well. I'll watch your replay when I get a chance. You are very welcome. I shall engage.
This has to be probably one of the most down to earth things that we've done so far, because I know we've been on a handful of podcasts so far, and I think this has been the most person to person thing.
I think that's the nice thing about you and I being able to be together is we can just have an honest, chill, back and forth sort of thing, and we don't have to when you're on. I have 2 shows tomorrow. And when you're on, because I have a show, I have a little show about being an editor tomorrow, like literally as soon as I get home from work. And so, yeah, when you're doing these shows, you got to be on. And for this, we didn't have to be on. We could just be us. That's kind of nice.
And I think the people that are here, they've gone to know us, because they see I don't put a lot of my own personal stuff on there, so I think this is an opportunity for people to see a different side of who I am, because I really don't put personal stuff. I don't put even pictures of my kids very much online or anything. So
Thank you, buddy. We fully agree with that.
Oh, that I did tell you, right? Like I put in for our local, like what's happening in Willows, because Willows is the town that I live in.
Mm-hmm.
And my neighbor hit me up and was like, I promise I'm not a stalker, but I'm gonna contribute. And she actually backed the campaign for $50 with no reward.
Yeah. Are you going to drop something in her mailbox anyways?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to.
I already
Yeah.
take her trash out for her, but yeah, I'm gonna do that
Oh,
too.
that's so sweet. Okay, so it is one you actually know.
Yeah. We take the trash out for her every week, and then if she needs to, she doesn't have a washer and dryer, so I'll let her use mine if she needs to. So
Oh, that's really sweet. Good for you.
we work together, man. That's how we make it work. I don't want to pay for trash. She doesn't want to pay for new laundry, so I get it.
Good for you. All right, man. Guys, thank you so much. You guys are absolutely amazing. Let me look and see who I have coming up because I don't even know. But yeah, we got. I mean, obviously, we have lots more shows happening. Oh, that's right. So next week, I've got Tyler Carpenter from the Girl with the Mega Fist. He's going to be showing up. And tomorrow night, where are you and I, buddy?
Which one is it tomorrow? I can't keep track. I mean, this is your strong suit, so me keeping track of these is like it's not even me. I'm like, oh, I just need to be available at 7. That's all I know. Look for the link and I'll be there.
Tomorrow is our boy Blake from Blake's Buzz. We're going to be over there doing his live show. He is a lot of fun. You guys will have a blast. Please check out the show. Check out what Blake does. He puts on an amazing show. Wait, Chuck and Sean on the same show. And not yet, but very soon, buddy. As soon as we fund, we're going to make that happen. Don't you worry.
Today was the deadline. And if somebody wants to donate,
$2,400.
$2,400.
Yeah. Well, so just so you're aware, there is going to be a hot challenge when we fund, not if, when we fund. Yeah. But for now, yeah, sadly nothing. But you can always check out the link below to check out Belial and see if there's anything you dig there, homie. We are going to bolt though. Sorry, Justin, you had to come in at the last second. The show's still on, and you can always check it on the other side. Thank you guys so much. Sean, thank you so much for coming out. I had a blast with you, as always, bud.
Always, man. Always. Much love to you, bro. You're my favorite.
Much
Come
love.
on now.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Right back at you. Seriously. Thank you. Guys, we've had a blast. We're going to keep doing this over and over. You're going to be seeing tons of us. So either look the other way or enjoy the fucking ride. My name is Chuck, and I give a fuck. Peace out.